told you a couple of days ago, it always seems strange with Harry and Meghan when they pop up at events, and they're these fake royal doos, aren't they? You know, the way she glides through as if she's a woman of importance. And when you think about it, a few years ago, she was, for a few nanoseconds, could clear Wimbledon. Remember that? People were curtsying to her, even though she said not to. But what's interesting to note, as she popped up at that Paramount Bob Marley premiere, she insisted on being introduced as Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Fascinating to note, isn't it? Titles mean nothing. I know I've said it millions of times, but clearly now on the decline, and it is truly the decline, then this is exactly what Meghan and Harry are doing. He bristled like a match, didn't he, when the guy over on ITV suggested, why didn't he relinquish the titles? What difference would that make? Clearly a lot, but it doesn't really make much of a difference in a country that wants to abolish our monarchy. Why would you cozy up to someone who wants rid of you? The dumbness of Harry and Meghan is incredible when you think. But let me tell you, apparently there was a bigger idea attached to this particular picture. As ever, let me explain. Neil Sean here, nice to see you. Thanks so much for joining me today. We'll have a quick wave. How are you? Are you all right? Yes. By the way, thank you for your lovely comments regarding Hedda Hopper and Luella Parsons. And oh, what two formidable ladies. What would they have made, though? I'd love to know your thoughts on this in the world of social media. I mean, when you think about it, they did all of that with no social media. You know, literally all of that sort of world domination through syndicated columns and radio shows. And yet they terrified people, quite frankly, around the world and those stars of the studio system. Some people might say this could similarly be the case with Harry and Meghan, cozying up, of course, to the Jamaican MP, or MPM, should I say, Andrew Holness, which shocked a lot of people, as I mentioned in a previous broadcast. Now, what was interesting, as we pointed out, when William and Catherine met the very same person, he told them allegedly not to get too excited because they were planning to become independent, and that was one area that they certainly would not be king and queen of. Insulting, to say the least. I'm sure you'll agree. All the more strange by the fact that Meghan was literally beaming into the eyes of this particular Prime Minister. And apparently, you know, there was a reason behind that. Because, and you have to laugh at this when you think about it, is simply that Meghan feels what a good ambassador she could have been in these very indelicate times. Now, it's been often sort of quoted that that particular tour that William and Catherine undertook was not a great success. It certainly was not the case. It really was very successful for them. But apparently now, Meghan and Harry would like it to be known, particularly to the powers that be over here in the United Kingdom, that actually they were doing some good. And perhaps them meeting this particular PM alongside other dignitaries at that Bob Marley premiere, well, they could have done a lot to cement perhaps fixing a problem that maybe William and Catherine couldn't fix. I kid you not. You're going to read more about this in the next couple of days. But what's fascinating is the fact that for some explicable reason, this particular Prime Minister did agree to the request to pose and meet two ex-royals who seemingly their cachet now is a failed Spotify series and a dangling Netflix deal. So why on earth would you wish to meet them? Was he playing them? Either way, Meghan likes to read it only one way. And that normally is Meghan's way. Neil Sean, Kensington, London.